Let's be. Okay, we have a lot to go through today, so we'll. Richie, it's probably my computer, not yours, but the stuff you sent through on Friday didn't all come through to my house, so I have it here. I don't know if anybody else had that problem, but the point being that we have plenty of copies here as we go through them, okay? So, morning, Taffy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Now we're going to. What we have to do is the acceptance of the meeting, of the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from last time? Does everybody agree with them? So moved.
Second.
Okay. And then we have a treasurer's report. Always done is beautifully. And I'll turn that over to you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So in our general fund, I just brought a few because I do send them out. So if we need more, I'm happy to bring more, but I just bring a couple every session. In our general fund, we expended, that one has to be, I'll give you this one. I need one of them anyway. 13,906 for the month of February, which is lower, obviously, than our average of 26,000 monthly average. And it's primarily because of an accrual adjustment that was recorded by the town in the month of February for payroll. That an accrual adjustment occurs every year to reverse the payroll that was earned in the prior year, June, but paid and recorded in July. So it's just putting it back into to the correct fiscal year. Our first payroll was July 7th. That included services rendered.
I'm pretending like I.
Oh, okay, you don't care. But anyway, there's a reason for that little number.
There is an accounting logic.
There's an accounting logic.
Thank God.
So, not to worry. Our expenditures of 207,431 are approximately 60% of the total budget year to date over the 8-month period. So in the grants, no additional grant revenue was received or expected in the month of February. Our expenses of 623 relate to payroll out of the formula grant. The majority of all of the expenses relate to payroll out of the formula grant and expenses. Our total grant fund balance is 35,276. The formula grant represents 28,000 approximately of that amount, and ARPA represents about 7,000. Revolving fund, we are still at a positive balance of $885. The balance is 17,954. Gifts and donations include 5,000 of that $5,250. 5,000 is from SSL. The expenses are basically payroll for the social worker. Our fund balance is 62,468, of which 33,499 is unrestricted. And then we just have the capital project still on the books, unexpended. Any questions, comments?
It's good. That's good. Thank you.
We want to accept that?
Everybody? Okay. And the next item is the director's report, which.
So I will pass this. And pass it around. Sure. All right. So the good news to start off, Governor Haley and her team have included in the just released FY 2024 budget $14 per elder for the formula grant, up from $12. So that was long overdue. Very good news. If approved, which I'm told it's expected to be, it will go up from 24,300 to 28,350. So, NCO accreditation, you should have received before today, and will review policies and board bylaws. So I have 2 documents to be reviewed and 1 to be signed. The ethics and conflict of interest is being signed, and the disaster recovery and the bylaws are to be reviewed. So did everybody receive those by email? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know why I didn't. I got one of the things you sent on that email and it didn't come up on it. So it's obviously my computer, but I'll
Okay. So
know where.
that's a lot of information. I'm sure you have seen it prior to, oh, okay, all right. So we can just, I'll pass this around at the end, the one that needs to be signed. All right, okay, good.
Could I just ask if we can add date? There's no date on this form.
On any of the, on the,
Well, the conflict of interest.
oh,
One that we
certainly.
sign off on.
So should we?
It's just our name. So we're just when we
Just-
sign,
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. When you
Yeah.
sign, add a date, that should,
and on the form itself, maybe later on, add a space for, so we don't forget to date it.
okay. All right, let's see. So Nancy's been working on the standards review, and she said more information will be sent separately in an email. So that is for our accreditation and the monthly highlights. So March Madness has been great. There's been a lot of people coming in. So we've had free dining 3 times a week, except for the St. Patrick's Day event, which will be this week. We're expecting a big turnout and free exercise classes. We've seen an increase in participation and a lot of new faces, which is great. As someone said, who is a frequent participant, free or not, if it's free, it's for me. It cracked me up because as long as it brings new people in, it's great. And so we have 70 guests registered for Thursday, more than any other year, which is wonderful. And we're hoping Mother Nature will cooperate. We had a guest speaker in last week, Anthony Samarco, the Irish in Boston, which was great. Great turnout, over 60 guests. And how I found him was just from someone saying to me in passing, hey, I know this speaker.
Great.
So as I mentioned before, if anybody has any ideas for programming, just send them my way, because it's nice, especially to come up with something that other centers aren't doing.
Yeah.
So the next thing we have coming up is why New England weather is the most fascinating, with Tim Kelly. I've actually seen him speak before. He's a very charismatic fellow. He almost does a comedy skit. So we're looking forward to him on 3/29. We could use more people to sign up for that. So if you could spread the word, that'd be great. He used to be the former meteorologist on NECN.
Oh, and that's,
Yeah, so, and you'll recognize him, you'll recognize his voice. So CEA by the numbers, 330 individuals were serviced by outreach programs and other services, for a total of over 950 contacts. We transported 46 individuals to medical, shopping, errands, and Wilcox Commons for activities. 20 of them used the electric vehicle. So that's all Nancy had to report.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think the next thing, no. We ought to do is sign this stuff.
The conflict, okay.
Yeah, the conflict of interest stuff. And then we'll turn them into you. Now, do you need full board participation in this? Because not everybody's here.
That is a question I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Find out for you. I was just I was told to present this and have whoever is here sign it.
Okay, well,
So,
that would be, that would
right,
be
so
all.
who needs a copy?
I do.
Okay, I'll just pass that around.
We just signed one, or do you need two?
Front and back.
When do I
Mine
need to
printed
sign
off.
for Karen? Or how does
Yeah,
that
no.
work?
Yeah.
I would think not.
No.
No, yeah.
Liaison.
It's interesting that it just says it applies to all employees.
Well, we're
Our
considering,
Yeah.
Do you have a copy I can
Yeah.
sign? 'Cause when I printed mine off, it came off.
Yeah, it's coming around,
No,
yeah.
and I don't know, it's so different.
Well, I-
Take
Okay.
I have one of these.
Well,
but-
Yeah,
we
well,
already
you
did
do.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you. Oh.
We'll sign it.
Thank you.
And is this pretty much right off of the town website? I mean, this is, or did we,
you know what, I'm sorry,
okay,
I don't know.
fine,
I don't know what word wisdom. But I can find out.
or date on it, yeah.
And everybody put the date on when you sign it as well. I know, I do know this is pretty.
I dropped it.
12, is it 12?
I thought it was the
It's
13th.
the
Oh,
We sprung ahead, one day.
That's,
Right, we did.
I didn't spring.
either did I. But this is pretty
Yes.
standard. We all take this, every year, you know, that chapter law, so.
It's kind of-
Take a minute.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, sorry, I can't see you all, so if I start to interrupt anyone or if something happens, just ignore me.
Okay.
We all look the same.
So I just wanted to check in. I'm sure Diane, I don't know where you are at in the meeting, if you already had the director's report.
Yes, we just concluded that. Everybody is signing the conflict of interest in business ethics. A question did come up whether this was taken right off the town website. Maybe you could answer that, Nancy?
Yes, so which one? The conflict of interest in business ethics has been taken right off of from the town, the manual report from the handbook, from the Cohasset employee handbook.
Okay. And you need the front and back signed, correct?
That
There's
needs to be signed?
Yeah, there, I
I
just
would-
saw
There
that.
is?
Yes, yeah, I just saw something on the back
Going
too,
back.
so, all right, there you go. I just
Yeah, it's
noticed,
probably just in case.
okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Richie, is Paul on Zoom?
He is not dialed in yet, no.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Nancy is the only remote person on right now.
Yeah, I did talk to Paul earlier today, and he is unable to come to the meeting, but he had mentioned he wanted to talk about the bylaws, which he said they seemed fine to him. He's just going to, once if you guys all agree to it, I'll send it back to him and he'll reformat it for us, but that's all he's mentioned.
So I'm gonna pass it, does anybody need a copy of the bylaws or? Is the expectation they get reviewed today here, Nancy?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Is the expectation that these are reviewed at this meeting or the bylaws?
Yeah, well, yes, that was my hope was that everybody took the time to review them over the weekend and could sign off on them today. But if that's not the case, I don't know how else it goes. I'd rather not wait till next month, but if that's what we have to do, then that's fine as long as next month is the latest. I didn't know, as long as everybody understands, we're really trying to do a push on the accreditation, because if we don't finish it by June 30th, we do not have a chance to get accredited. They're closing it down. So that's why we're really pushing hard these next couple of months to get everything we need underway.
Nancy, if you don't mind, I'll speak very quickly to this because I've been working extensively with Nancy on the accreditation along with Nettie. They are closing it down, as Nancy said, by the end of June. And once this window closes, I believe that there's no expectation that it will be open again anytime soon for accreditation for the senior center. So we're really compiling all this information as soon as possible. We have Nettie working on her end, who's working remotely for us as a contractor. Myself and Nancy have been working on this pretty extensively since the fall. So it's really something that we're trying to get completed as soon as possible, where if we can get our material in before the June deadline, obviously is great, because if they do have any further questions of us, we can get back to them with enough time spare to make sure that everything, all our I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So.
Correct, thank you, Richard.
Nancy's rolling on that.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't have a copy. Here you go.
Maybe we clean the.
But she is not driving. She has a driver driving her.
Oh,
Yes, I have my driver underway.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, read this at home.
read this.
I just had a couple of, if I may. It's really just the wording of things on the two additions. Well, number one, remember we talked a couple of months ago about our mission, and we changed the word on the page 1, item 2, article 2, item 2. It says the council shall cooperate. At that point in our meeting, we agreed that, I think Tana, you brought it up.
Yeah,
Let's use the word advise versus
yeah.
cooperate. So if we're making changes, why don't we just add that too, if you don't mind?
Okay.
And then on the two changes, which are on that last page, had it's changing wording. We have Elder Affairs Board enforces the conflict of interest. Okay, so we're on page 4, Article 10, Item 1.
Page 3,
I only have.
No, it's page 4.
we have,
It
Only have
didn't
3.
print out in the correct
oh, it
order.
didn't print out in the correct
look on
order.
the
Okay,
back.
all right, so page 4 is page.
Okay, page 4 is page 2. It
Two.
was in a
Okay,
different
okay.
order.
All right. All right, so here we go.
So when we say Elder Affairs Board enforces the conflict of interest, in fact, it's the town of Cohasset. I just have a proposal, town of Cohasset, this is what I would change it to.
Should say an elder affairs board.
Exactly, because we're not really enforcing it, it's the town that's enforcing the conflict of interest, they're the enforcing agency. So the town of Cohasset enforces a conflict of interest policy requiring all members of the board of directors. And we may even specify of the Council on Elder Affairs, just to make it consistent with the wording within our document. And I can give you this, Diane, if everybody agrees with, to complete the conflict of interest training required by da, 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 da. So just a clarification in that paragraph.
Yeah, good.
So the town of Cohasset enforces a conflict of interest policy requiring all members of the board of directors of the Council of Elder Affairs to complete the conflict of interest training.
I need a lawyer. Are you available?
Well, this is what I used
You'd be good.
Article 11, under the whistleblower. Again, it's just a wording change. Instead of saying council board members, just for consistency within the document itself, I would say the board of directors
What's that?
follow the town of Cohasset whistleblower policy. And that's it.
Okay.
You are good.
I read something about a development committee.
Yeah, and
Who's on the development?
I don't know. I didn't
We're
know.
supposed to have one.
I know. Are we supposed to have one or?
Development committee do?
Recruit new board members.
Oh.
Yeah, but we haven't had to do that in a while.
Right, but you were on that committee.
I think I was that. I think I was that committee.
I think you were.
There it is.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe you are the committee.
I did that for Paul.
I did that.
What number was that?
That sounds like the vice president's job.
Well,
That's what you.
that's what it was.
Why?
was
Yeah.
originally, yeah.
Right.
Was that-
That's Diana's job.
Yeah.
Say,
It's just that we haven't had any new members in such a long time. Which is great. I mean, it's great that the people want to stay on the board.
Yes.
We always had, so,
So are we done with that one? Okay, so then there's the disaster recovery.
Do we want to vote on that?
oh, yeah.
Okay,
Nancy, I think wants these to be part of.
okay.
Right,
Yeah.
Nance?
Yeah, please.
So I move to accept the changes to the, whatever this thing is,
Our bylaws.
our bylaws,
Bylaws.
yes.
Second.
all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Done.
Oh, okay, all right. So
Supposed
Nancy,
to have a big rubber stamp.
oh, okay. So
Always
Nancy,
can be changed.
once we make those changes, then everybody would sign, right? We have to make the changes first, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Well,
so,
for the bylaws, they don't have to sign anything. They just have to accept them and then we'll change them.
oh, okay, I thought you said when you first got on, they needed to sign those as well too. Yeah, my understanding is we would just sign in the conflict of interest today, which I have in front of me. And then we'll review disaster recovery. Does anybody need a copy of that? Okay. Pass that around.
I had a question, this mini disaster recovery. If schools postpone 2 hours, does that do anything to our programming here?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We were
It came
thinking
up.
about that last Tuesday. You might think about this week.
Does everybody have?
Could I have them?
Certainly. There you go.
There you go.
So I do believe, Nancy, and correct me if I'm wrong, and Richie, if schools are delayed, we do delay transportation to give the
That
streets.
is-
And then we do
Yes.
delay and programming, yes.
And programming.
program.
Yeah,
yes.
just a delay, just to give the,
Just like you wouldn't do it in the morning. then.
So you cancel the first 2 hours that were gonna happen?
well, I think the rationale is that give the roads a chance to be cleaned
No,
up.
I get it,
so
but-
everybody
Just so
can
we know,
safely,
like-
yeah,
But in
yeah.
effect, what you do is you cancel those 2 hours of classes.
Like
Okay.
9 to
Yes.
11.
And it's very
Right.
rare.
Right.
It's very rare.
Right.
Schools either usually cancel or don't,
Right.
you know, and the few times that it has happened, we have a couple different avenues to reach people by email or either calling directly.
Mhm.
Teach the instructors will reach out, you know, it hasn't been a problem. So, but that technically is,
Right. So especially this, it hasn't happened this winter and we don't expect it to, but just out of an abundance of caution, we would do the same as the schools, just to keep it uniform.
So they probably postpone yoga. Yoga's at 9:30. We were saying, well, what
I
if we,
think it'd be canceled.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing
Canceled.
because we have art lessons tomorrow.
yeah.
You can still do it, though.
Oh, it's not the same.
Come in and do it yourself.
and you know, and sometimes in inclement weather, the particular teacher too, we try to be sensitive to
Yeah.
how they feel about traveling. So, but we have lots of different ways to reach out to people to make contact.
Is tomorrow supposed to be awful?
I think it's Wednesday.
Just
Well,
rain.
No,
or-
tomorrow.
I thought
And
tomorrow,
into
like
Wednesday,
Wendy's,
yeah.
To Wednesday.
Into Wednesday.
What they'll- Depends,
but Wednesday was
snowy
when they
it
were talking about potentially. some
1 to
snow.
3,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I was just watching with Richie this morning on when we were putting on the TV in the dining room, and now they're saying, you know, more. It looks like a little bit more, but as long as it's cleared
I
up
was gonna
for
say,
our
just
vet.
before I left, I said 3 to 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For us,
On the coast, yeah.
which is
They-
more than what they
Yeah,
had said.
it's not doing what they thought it was gonna do, so
Yeah,
it's coming up through the mirror, so we'll probably get it.
Oh, we will
South
get it. Oh,
Carolina, so if we can get out
You're going to South Carolina? When?
Wednesday.
I'm going to check.
What's in South Carolina?
Charleston.
We're going to Charleston, where my daughter is.
Okay, so this, I guess we just keep this disaster recover plan for our own edification.
So did we accept the disaster recovery plan as well?
Oh, sure.
I move to accept it into
Second.
the corporate our documents.
There you go.
Very good. Okay.
Oh, yeah, vote
Aye.
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 Okay. And is that all
That is all I had for you.
and so everybody here has signed the one document they're supposed to?
Yep.
Okay, good. Oh, Nancy, we weren't quite sure. Does this have to be signed by all the board members or just all the board members present?
No, it will have to be signed by all the board members.
Okay,
As long as you guys accepted it and so the
Right.
ones that are there signed it, I can, we'll send out an email to everybody who's not here and ask them to, next time they're in, to either sign it or they can scan it over to us.
okay, that's great. If they can scan it, that's great. Thank you very much. Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you guys very much for working on it.
Now, the next thing that I need to discuss, I think, if nobody minds, I would like to go to the people, to our committee reports, and then I'll come back to the community dinner changes, okay? Okay, so Taffy, could you tell us what's happening at,
Oh, well, we're making good progress, actually. So we rented 3 units last week.
oh, good.
In the last 2 weeks, 3 new people moved in. Now, of course, I'm not supposed to know who they are. This all part of it, but I did happen to see the names and I did know that one was local anyway, so that was a
Okay,
good
well,
thing.
that's good.
Oh,
good.
But I can't ask, so anyway, so that was good. And they're working hard on finishing up the rest. We haven't lost anybody in the last couple of months, so that's good. Yeah. Hopefully by this summertime I would like to think we might be full by this summer, by July, anyway.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and the
you
people
see
out
all
there
the
making
need,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just doing it, and I'll throw this out because I was very excited. We had asked if the fire department, if the Cohasset Cares could replace our smoke detectors at 60 Elm Street. Now, 64 units, but they are seniors, so we've been going the rounds about that for a couple of months, but it's very expensive too, that they're hardwired 10-year smoke detectors. And so we had sort of reached an agreement that Cohasset Cares, which is funded by the Social Service League, and we would share the cost of them. And then Hingham Lumber came through with reduced their rate.
Oh, how nice.
So that Cohasset Cares is going to do it, and we're going to
Great.
install them.
Great.
So that's great.
It's terrific.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right, 'cause they're $70 a piece ordinarily.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
64, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And, that would come out of our budget, and as I said, our budget isn't very big. We would
Well, we
very
have
happy to spend on something else, a benefit.
Oh,
to the
sure.
tenants.
we do have a fund in the gift account for Cohasset Cares
Yeah, good.
that I'm sure will cover
Yeah,
that.
I'll hope so.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And, how
Do you
about-
want to have Ann? She's here for Karen, for France.
oh, okay. Do you have a report for us?
So I just have a couple of things that she mentioned. Something that we're working with Diane, I believe, to get some kind of transportation trip for the seniors to visit the Historical Society, those that need transportation. Because they have this really nice historical exhibit there currently, and we thought that would be something the seniors would really enjoy. And then there was one thing that she just brought to my attention this morning, and it was about when the Vista has been distributed and what the age group is. Because one of our seniors was, actually they're not really a senior, they're just 65 years old, got a copy. Her husband, who's older, did not. And she's really offended.
Oh,
So I think it's a tricky area. I know seniors that are real seniors that get offended if people kind of know their age. So I think, so we're capping the birthday distribution, the cards, to 70. we decided that 70 was probably an acceptable age, but we wondered about the Vista. Because that, we don't want to offend people. I mean,
Yeah,
you're doing the
yeah.
exact opposite of drawing them in, you're sending them away.
Yeah, would you like me to speak on that?
Sure.
Would you like me to speak on that? So it reminds me of that AARP, you know, when you
Yeah.
turn 50, how they know.
Yeah.
And we always joke that they sit around the office and like, you know, they go, all right.
Go for that
So,
one.
what has typically been done in the past is as soon as someone turns 60, you know, we would send them out the Vista. In the past couple years now, we get the census from the town hall. We accompany that Vista with a letter, welcome, these are the services that are available to you. And then we try to go through our existing list and make sure we're not duplicating households, because it's expensive.
Yeah.
We mail out to 1,500 households, plus we have an email list. But there are those few people, he may have got the Vista in the past, chose to get off of the list.
No, they're fairly recent.
Oh, recent, oh, okay, all right, so maybe if they
Error there.
recently moved, right, and then we captured her and not him.
Right.
So I have to say, and Nancy, you can speak to this too, we get very, very few complaints. People are generally thankful, we're reaching out to them, especially with that welcome letter, talks about all of our services. Wow, you know, I may not benefit from this, but I have a neighbor, I have a friend, thank you. And if they really don't want to get the
Right.
Vista, we can take them off the list. And there's also the email capability. A lot of people concerned about, you know, paper usage. You know, getting another piece of mail that maybe, you know, with all the other stuff, then they have the option of going by email. I'm sorry that happened to that one individual.
Well, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
some people take it really personally.
Yeah,
Others are like, oh, how come I didn't get one? So,
Right,
you know,
right,
you're
right.
kind of working with a group.
Is there enough to be offended about?
No, for
Just
God's
wait,
sake,
just wait.
I have to say, when AARP reached out to me, I wasn't too happy. How they
It's
know?
a giant market.
I know.
I was just gonna say,
But-
sort of, they sort of,
Everywhere you go, somebody has a different level, like Walgreens might give you the discount at
Mm, right.
Yeah.
62 and
Right.
Kohl's,
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
So we don't have any lower limit of people who attend programs here, do we?
In terms of age?
Yeah.
You know, my understanding, we're very welcoming. If
Yeah.
we have someone in their mid to late 50s that come in, we have the room, right? We have the room to
We're not
welcome,
carding them.
right?
Yeah,
No,
right.
no.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Sorry, too young.
Well,
Show me your ID.
if the whole Balance Studio
Yeah.
shows up from downtown because they have the same teacher, then it would be a problem, right?
Yeah.
We're free.
But
That
it-
would be a little too
But
much.
it's not, it's very few and far
Yeah.
between. And again, we have the square footage, so it hasn't been a problem. And especially some of these, you know, larger presentations, you know, we want to welcome them in.
and there's no reason why they can't come. I mean,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, I've had, someone complained to me about somebody in one of
Somebody being too
the
young.
exercise programs, yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
the
Really?
person's too young. She came to another class too that I was in.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't
Maybe
think we
she's just fortunate
discriminate.
to-
I mean, I don't know why she wants to come, but you know, I
Yeah.
said, maybe she is recovering from something,
Right.
you know, I don't
Yeah,
know.
true. And
You
and
never know, you know.
it's typically people in their mid to late 50s. If they are
Yeah.
younger, we're not getting 30-year-olds coming in and taking,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so.
No.
Damn it.
nice, the whole thing.
Haven't we had this conversation when
Yes,
we
we-
talked about membership and does membership have a date associated with
Right.
it? Which some centers do.
Mhm.
And, but we deliberately did not put a date.
Right.
Is it 55? Is it
Yeah.
60?
But on the other hand, we've been talking about trying to get more people in. So if
Exactly.
Somebody
It was to
starts strolling
encourage.
in at 57, where, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Right.
might
volunteer.
Absolutely, we're not, right, exactly. And then there's other options available, such as the volunteer. We
Well,
haven't
it's
turned it.
funny, I have a friend though, she has a disabled daughter who's 58 and lives in Weymouth. And she lives over there on 3A in Weymouth in an apartment, private apartment building. And in the Bicknell School there in North Weymouth, they have a big Weymouth senior exercise and they won't let her participate.
Wow.
58, no, because she's not old enough.
Yeah, it's-
Falmouth will do that as well. You have to be 60.
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah.
Wow.
I guess too, if you look at it though, Weymouth is a huge town. So
Yeah.
they kind of fudged it a little.
Yeah.
They might get overwhelmed, I don't know,
Yeah.
but it does seem a little crazy.
Small town, we're good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's really all we had
Anything else?
to.
Thank you. The coffees are going very, very well.
Well, they're being well attended.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of them are coming a little earlier. They're kind of queuing at the door, so. But sometimes they have nowhere else to go and they're just up early in the morning and they want to come.
Yeah.
We just kind of try to keep it to 9 o'clock before we start,
Oh, yeah.
getting stuff going, because then the later people, there's nothing left. The older birds have like filled up and are all happy, and the others coming in later, But anyway, it's working out really well, I think.
Oh, it's great. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. And how about, yeah?
Affordable housing. So we're doing our Habitat for Humanity. That's
Mhm.
what's front and center right now. So we're all kind of figuring out the process because we got Habitat for Humanity. I told you to do that lot at West Corner. They're gonna do a duplex. So they're running a gala. It's not necessarily a fundraiser for our project. It's every year they do a general gala. So, but we're hoping it kind of gets it in front of people. So right now they have a network of people that will kind of step up for projects, whether it's donating, goods like roofing or stuff like that, or contractors that will donate time. And they're kind of going around to find out some big donors now before like little donors. So down the road, there will be the opportunity for people to come and bang nails and stuff. That's like later. Right now, they're trying to
Get them on.
fundraise.
Yeah.
Beth, can I just ask a question? Who's in charge of the Habitat?
Who's the director?
Who's the person? Well, are you working with a group out of Boston or?
I don't know that they're out of Boston.
We're very involved with Habitat.
Are you?
My husband and I are very involved. We
Oh.
do international Habitat. So I'm just wondering, and we were very involved with the original building down here.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering who's in charge of that?
It's the person we're dealing with. Of course, I can't think of her name right now. She's some fairly new.
Is it out of the Boston office, do you know?
I, for some reason, didn't think they were coming out of Boston. I thought they
Okay,
were.
I'll just chat with you later.
Yeah, I can
was
figure it out
something
because I can let you know.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Because I know he'd be really interested in that.
Oh, good.
He's been doing it for like 30
Well,
years.
that's right now, we're trying to get the word out for some people and kind of get some energy going and see.
Right. Okay.
To get the fundraising going. And so we had finally gotten the Affordable Housing Trust set up, and money was sitting in the CPC funds that came over that has always been designated for affordable housing. So that came over and is funded in the trust. And I think the trust has promised a certain amount, but a lot of it has to just be accumulated from different sources. So it's a little daunting in a way, but everyone knows and somehow it comes together. So it'll be an interesting process. And I have a feeling, once it starts going and they break ground and stuff and people become aware of it, then hopefully there'll be more, people stepping up to help in different ways. Hingham's finishing one up, I noticed on Whiting Street. So I think they've done a few on Hingham. But it'll be similar, what they just didn't hang up, I think is similar to, it's a duplex kind of thing. I'm still kind of amazed though that they can fit that tiny lot in West Corner.
Boy, they must have
Get a
measured
duplex on it.
inch by inch, yeah.
Yeah, so, anyway, that's what we're all working on.
That's great. Okay, anybody else? Okay, then, what we have to discuss is the community dinners once again. We have learned that we cannot do it when we wanted to do it in April. Due to conflict, there's going to be a selectmen's meeting. And although it was clear on the town's calendar. It had not flipped over so that we could see the town's,
Because they didn't put it on there.
whatever it was. I'm not blaming anyone.
Well, allow me.
I'll take the
Okay.
blame. No, I'll take the blame. I gave you that date, Tana, and I did not check the calendar. So that was totally my error, as far as confirming that date before I double checked, was totally
That's
not
fine.
like I should have done.
But Nancy, I was with you and we both looked and it looked like it was clear. I guess we didn't look on their calendar though. No?
I thought
Yeah,
you
we
were
were-
supposed to be
I think
putting
that-
everything on one.
Yeah, I think that was that was, I think, what I overlooked, because you and I were looking at the calendar and we were both agreeing on something that worked. And then I didn't take the next step, which was to look on the town's calendar. So, unfortunately, that's going to happen. And then May, it doesn't look like it's going to work because the chef can't do the dates that are available to us. So we'll have to push it up to June, unfortunately.
June?
To June.
What happened to May?
Oh,
They
Wasn't-
couldn't do it. So, the only thing I have about June, is to get kid volunteers at that time. It's very difficult.
yeah.
That sort of came to me yesterday or the day over the weekend, Nancy. So it's something we'll have to think about it. I wish Sarah were here, but she said she couldn't come today. So as of now, if we can get the chef and the help together, June is very, it will have to be June. Otherwise, maybe we'll do something in the summer. I don't know. It just seems to be, I don't know, you can tell I feel,
June is summer. I mean, if you could
yeah.
do it
So why
outside,
not May?
or partially outside.
The chef, the people can't do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Who was it that was going to do that?
There was somebody that, Liza, who's done it
Kathy
before.
Whitley.
Okay, I didn't know her name,
Okay.
but she wasn't able to do it.
Mhm.
And you guys just coming off,
Oh, I'm
St.
exhausted.
Patrick's Day.
and we didn't want to
You're
ask
such a
again.
flower.
Yeah, I mean, we just didn't want to ask again 2 months in a
And
row.
use the extra money, Tana.
Couldn't we all? So, that's where we, so for now, we don't have a firm date, but we do have to look, I have to look into, let's see, when the events at the high school are going to be happening. Like, I don't know when's graduation, when's,
It's much earlier. Beginning.
oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Beginning of June?
Yeah,
It's
first week.
It's always the
week.
first week in June.
Yeah.
Okay, will the kids be available? Well, we don't have well,
Depends when you do it.
yeah, like,
How late into June.
yeah. I didn't want to do it too early because of exams and all that kind of stuff. And then you don't want to do it because they have the end of the year dinners and
Yeah.
that usually happens in May over at the school, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's the 3rd. I just looked it on my kid because I have someone graduating.
Mm.
It's
Oh,
Ah,
last one.
Hey.
I know.
Middle of June would probably,
pardon?
middle of June would probably
Yeah.
work.
And we were thinking in terms of like, whatever the date is, that middle Tuesday. So, but let's see if we can put it together. So that's where we stand. Now, the kids that came last time to help, they were juniors. So maybe we get another dinner out of them so we'll see. And prom is over by then. Oh, yeah, because it's, yeah, okay. So that's what I have, and any discussions would be, with any other ideas would be greatly appreciated.
Do you
And-
think there'll be a Father's Day cookout? Does the firemen usually, policemen usually do that?
Typically,
Yeah.
we haven't heard that there will not be.
Uh-huh.
If not, we will certainly have something.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's June.
Right.
June, so yeah, you don't want to do the same week probably.
Oh, no, not the same week. Well, we have to coordinate that. That's what I wanted to tell you. You don't have to get all ready for the one that we. And is there any other news or any other comments about the center that you hear from the outside?
Oh, yeah, I heard one. Some of the people that do the exercise classes were saying that the pictures hanging are kind of hard because they use the wall space for holding on like during yoga and stuff and some of the other exercise classes. So they're kind of low and it doesn't give them a chance to really lean on the wall.
Oh, well,
So
that
I
has
said
to
I
be,
would relay that
Yeah.
anonymously.
There you go.
no, it's,
I haven't experienced that. Have you, Jim?
No, but I do remember hearing some complaints about
Really?
it.
Yeah.
It
I
probably
hang out near the
depends
wall,
on-
so it's no
I
Yeah.
do
problem,
too. It
but-
depends
I
on
think-
big,
But if
you
the
know,
class
this-
is full and she's
class
doing
is full
something
this
against the
month,
wall, it's
yeah.
a problem, you know.
Right.
So they didn't know if they
I've seen a
might
lot of
go up
people
a
who
little
like them.
higher, but I was like, I wonder if you could see them. I don't know. So maybe they would just say maybe if they just,
How does
Kind
that
of
system
slightly
work? Can they
higher.
easily be raised?
I think, because aren't they hanging from the top
Yeah.
of something?
they're hanging from some kind of a molding.
So you just maybe move them up a little bit.
Nancy, you there?
We can look, yeah, I'm listening. I wasn't sure. I didn't hear the first part, but it's the pictures, they say that they can't put their legs up because of
No, like
pictures
hands,
that we
like,
have hanging.
yeah, they're kind of in an awkward spot if they go to do something, like sometimes, they go up to the wall to like
Stretch.
anchor themselves or,
Mhm.
lean into the wall or something that the pictures are. at.
Oh, okay.
It
I
makes-
understand.
it
Yeah,
uses up wall
let me take a
space.
look at it.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Let me take a look at it and see, because it is a system that they can move up and down. That was the beauty of the system.
Yeah,
We
so-
can put the photographs anywhere that fit the wall. So I don't think that would be a problem. It just
Yeah.
might not look might look awkward if they're not, somebody's not up against the wall, if they're all up too high. But if that's what we need to do, I don't think that will be a problem.
yeah.
oh, good.
It sounded like maybe even just raise them up a little bit would help.
Okay,
Good.
I'll look into that this week.
Thanks.
Good, thank you. You can tell your source how powerful you really are.
I know, I was like, oh, I have a board meeting Monday, I could bring it up.
Yeah, everything, bring it up at the meeting.
Guess you're lucky if you can get your legs up the wall.
Yeah.
No, it was more like, it's not the leg.
It's stability.
Hang on.
Arms, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's a yoga
the
move
wall.
where they put their legs up the wall. So, yeah, that could be a problem for a lot of parents.
This group's not doing that.
I'm a hold on to the wall person.
Yeah.
So she makes us do one leg up or something.
It's the walk to the side, leave the wall.
Okay, who else has something? Oh, come on, there must be something. No complaints from the community or?
I think I heard.
I don't know, we could think of some.
But, yeah, if you could think of anything, because that's what we do. So, see, and we solve them just like that. You talk to Nancy. It works again. They just slide right
That's
up.
what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So is there a limit to how many people you're allowing to lunch? It looked like about the other day. and
I think
was
they
here,
put a cap at
30
70.
30 or.
Oh, you're talking
No,
about
no,
lunches?
regular lunch. Yeah.
No,
The free
because
lunch?
I had 35 the other day.
Wow.
Really?
We typically, 40 seems to be
Uh-huh.
a comfortable number in the dining room.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we haven't really had to turn too many folks away. I think the numbers were higher than expected for March. We did this last year.
70, right? You haven't.
Oh, no, that's the
No.
St. Patrick's Day, which
Yeah,
is high
that's-
too. We're
Yeah,
talking
that's
about our
high.
lunches, the two.
Oh, you're talking about the
They've
free
been,
lunches.
they've
Right.
been
Yeah.
doing, I've seen a lot of faces we
Yeah.
haven't seen, but, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens next month.
Yeah.
Once we
Yeah,
go back
yeah,
to
if it
charging,
carries over.
Yeah.
but even if we capture 5 of those folks who haven't come in before, I think it's a success.
Mhm.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because 40 people, typically it's what, 7 or 8?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's been quite a change.
Well, your meatloaf's a big hit, you know.
Oh, how was it?
Because it's
I'm a
your.
victim of my own success.
Yeah, people have their
Oh, you do
favorites.
know.
Yeah,
Oh,
we,
yeah.
we give the numbers, so we.
Yeah.
And then after they start serving, Liza comes in and says, "Can you do one more?" And 10 minutes later, she says,
That's great. I'm glad you're not turning people away, you know.
Yes, yes.
Go, then you start going around to people, cutting some in half and putting.
chopping people's plates and running to somebody else's.
Start stretching this out.
So,
And that's all because of March Madness.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it was big
Wow.
success.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah,
Well, I think the lunches have been getting bigger anyway. You know, we really have been pushing it in the newsletter and putting the menu, not just in the calendar, but on the front page. And,
Yeah, which is nice.
and Richie's been doing these fantastic signs, as you can see, to see what it is. And the to-go option is also, Nancy wanted to keep that going. That's also quite successful.
is it?
Yes.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have some regulars. I mean, it's a $4 lunch. If you're caring for someone who's ill or you're, you know, don't feel like cooking, you get a homemade meal for $4. So,
Hard to beat.
yeah, so that was a spin-off of when we were closed and we were doing the drive-ups. We
Right.
kept the to-go going. So it's all moving in the right direction.
How does the to-go, how many would we do on a to-go on top of the 40?
Well, I had 6 last week. And with these numbers, that's pretty typical. It's between 4, 8 people to go. Can be as many as that.
Well, that's great. Do we ever get any referrals? Do people come in because they're told at the food pantry that the food is free this month, but cheap? You know?
That's a really good point. And we've mentioned in the newsletter numerous times, if someone is unable to pay
Right.
for lunch to see me, and it will be, and then we would never turn anybody away. Unfortunately, I don't get a lot of requests for
I don't
that.
think you would, people.
You know,
yeah.
but we do put that out there.
Yeah.
And just, let's just mention also, Diane, the food pantry does refer people to
Yes.
us usually, with the outreach portion of it if there's needs. So, but I think that's a good point. We could always ask her, you know, if it's over 60 and somebody thinks that, they could come in to the dining room, that we would love to offer
Yeah.
that to them. So, it's not a bad idea to just remind them about lunches here being so affordable and nutritious, and not to mention delicious, and see if they could send more people our way.
That is, I'll reach out to Jane by email and remind her. And we'll put another
Okay,
reminder in
thank
the
you.
newsletter too, that, you know, if someone is unable to pay.
Mm.
Because if there are a few people who are coming in March just because it was free due to an inability to
Mm.
pay, we want to make sure they can continue coming.
Right.
Definitely. Anything else? Eleanor, how about you?
I'm good.
You okay? Okay.
The pool, we're gonna have, it's our 50th year.
Oh, I can't believe that, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
So we are gonna be having some special events. So we'll be kind of watching the parking lot for,
Okay,
let you know, when it's going to be. But
Did you say 50th year?
50th year.
Wow.
I remember it was the second year we moved here.
Yeah.
I guess that people came knocking on the door, trying to fundraise
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. So they're planning a couple of fun things that revert all the way back to 73. And it was really funny. I found a whole bunch of notes of the different guards all the way back to 1973.
Oh, wow.
And so we're attempting to find some of these people. And the guys aren't so hard because their last name's their last name, but the girls, they're more difficult because of what they're doing. But we flew into Sarasota to get over to Bradenton. And so we were getting out of the airport and I said, why is Jane Cook's name on that plaque over there? It was right in Sarasota. And the other people in the car went, where? I said, right there. It says Jane Cook. And I think that's our Jane Cook.
Oh,
Turns out it was.
oh,
And
wow.
that she donated quite a bit to Southern University of Florida.
Huh.
And she lived right on the Longboat Key in the wintertime.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
And they said that she had which I thought was fascinating. They have the original caretaker. And when she passed away, she left Longboat Key to him for occupancy for his life.
Wow.
So
Wow.
they can't do anything with that until he passes away, and he's still alive.
Wow.
It was kind of fun to listen
So
to.
were you
That's
involved
interesting.
with the pool from the get-go,
Yeah.
50 years ago?
Yeah.
I did not know.
I know.
That's amazing. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting this year. We've got some really good stuff going, and it feels good. We just got a new director who I'm thrilled to death over, because he's a little older and he's a little more, he's a little more structured.
Yeah.
And he's done this before, so it's something that's going to be kind of fun. Yeah. So
It must be
and
very satisfying to see something last this long and do so well.
yeah, and
that's-
it's also I'm fading out, which is really
Yeah,
nice.
aren't we all?
Yeah, it's really nice because what they've done is like
Right.
my face isn't anywhere. I'm
Right.
just in the
Well,
background.
nor should
setting
it be.
going.
You've done
Yeah.
more than enough.
But it's been, yes, it's very
Yeah.
rewarding when you
Yeah,
look
I
at,
bet.
so all this nonsense of Jane Cook. So somebody said to me, can you dig up Work Cook, which is her son?
Yeah.
And God, didn't I find him in Texas?
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I
I
emailed
didn't know there was a son.
Work Cook.
Wow, okay.
So he's,
You are. Oh.
he has an odd first name, WERK.
Oh,
Work.
work.
She was
Ah.
Jane Work.
Hmm?
Wasn't that her middle name?
Work.
Yes.
Wasn't that her middle name?
Yeah,
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 Jane Work.
yeah.
Book.
So I think he's going to try to come up, which would be really fun if we could get him to come in. And it's amazing the people that have kind of come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah,
we've
like
had a
with the
couple of
free
fun
lunch.
things happen. We are doing for the very first time, we are doing a snack shack. And we've been approved to do it, which is great. And the people that do things I find are so fun because all of a sudden, Wayne Sawchuk said to me, remember when we went to that big auction to buy stuff for the senior center's kitchen? And I said, oh God, yes. And they came home, he and Glenn Pratt, you don't send them anywhere.
No, no.
They came home, they had truckloads. I said, I thought it was just a restaurant, that was going away. Oh, well, we just couldn't resist. So he was so funny because he came up to me last week and he says to me, do you want to come over to the barn? I got lots left over. So I think we're going to go to the barn and see what they have. Yeah, but it was fun. Yep. So we will be having a couple of specials, but we'll be, and most of the time, they're not on days that cause much problem here.
Well, it's your parking lot. We are there at your pleasure. So,
It'd be fun.
and we'll accommodate anything we have to, so. Okay, anybody else? Okay, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Really? Is it?
1 hour. Perfect.
Boom.
Great. Oh, boy. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.